Francisco. I'm a little bit interested in this one tonight. I don't get too many straight up jujitsu fighters, and competitors tonight. So I just got through talking to her a little bit before we got started. Very charming young lady. She's got a kid and everything like that. Very nice human being. Ladies and gentlemen, her name is Brianna Villasenor. What's happening, ma'am?
Hi, nothing much. Just got some training to do. A little late at the cut, just to like a pound.
Well, you were telling me right before we can't go a terrible amount of time. Like we can't go Joe Rogan 3 hours time because you're about to be training, and I'm like, what an excuse that is. But so where are you from?
I'm Salinas, California, Monterey County.
You'll have to excuse my ignorance. What part of California is that?
Yeah, it's gonna be, I want to say like Bay Area, so northern center, like northern.
Okay, so northern of like Oakland and San Francisco.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I've been all over this country. I still have yet to step foot in the state of California.
Oh, we're close to what? Big Sur, Monterey County.
Okay. It's funny because I grew up as a Raiders fan.
Oh.
So I'm a huge Raiders fan. But that being said, so let's start off the bat. Tell me about your upcoming competitions that are coming up.
So I have 2 super fights. One's for submissions by the shore, and that's San Rafael. It's up in the Bay Area, San Francisco area. And that one is on Saturday.
Okay.
Ounces Beer Garden. They're gonna have it. Going to be an outdoor event. And then next week on Friday, I have another super fight that last minute I'll have to cut 5 pounds for next week. And that one's going to be, I think, up in Bakersfield, wherever Table Mountain Casino is. And that's for Valley Fight Series MMA.
Yeah.
And they're both jiu-jitsu matches.
Good. So you said you're going to have to cut 5 pounds?
Yes, I do. I'm 120 for this event. And then next week, the following event, I'll be, I need to cut to 115.
Really? How tall are you?
I'm 5'2".
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I was about to say 115. Holy cow, that's like Thug Rose. That's like Thug Rose's weight class when she was a champion, if I'm not mistaken. So
I know I can't they don't look like their weight class. Like when they are done cutting weight and after the fight, they're originally walking 140.
Yeah,
140.
I've been covering mixed martial arts and combat sports for nearly 20 years now. And sports in general, but particularly combat sports. And I saw Anderson Silva up close one time. That dude if that dude fought at 185, but he is legitimately walking around at 230 before his fights. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like it's harder for women to cut weight for some reason.
Yeah.
Because my husband cut 5 pounds in a night, and it takes for me to do it.
If I don't eat sugar even when I'm at my best, if I don't eat sugar for 24 hours, I can cut 4 pounds in a night.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not one to get into the biology of the male and female species, but there's just certain things that the advantage goes to the men when it comes to the combat sports, and the cutting the weight is one of them. Because I saw the weigh-ins. I was covering a fight about 3 weeks ago, and I saw the weigh-ins for a women's fight, and the women were just so exhausted and depleted weighing on that scale. I didn't even want to talk. I had to talk to them afterwards. I didn't even want to talk to them. I was like, look, I just want these women to get there hydrated and then get ready for the next day, and we could talk before the fight the next day.
Yeah. It gets. I've never been on a huge weight cut, but it gets rough for people. I've seen rough before.
Absolutely. So, how long have you been training in combat sports?
I want to say since 2017, so 8 years for jiu-jitsu. I've been training, give or take, because I was also pregnant, had a baby.
Yes.
Minus 1 years.
Oh, is he your only child?
Yes, for now. I do want more.
Sure. No, absolutely. No, and good luck to you on that. Absolutely. You
Thank
know,
you.
oh, you're welcome. But I'll say that I'll say this because I don't, the combat sports, as far as, jujitsu and stuff like that, there is so like, it seems like that there's so much risk, but yet at the same time, like less, like more risk for injury rather than permanent damage.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, granted, if you do, I mean, who wants to really be with that guy that doesn't tap out to an armbar and then and then he's not able to wipe himself for like 9 months? It's just
Yeah, that's so. I think past ADCC, I got armbarred twice in the same arm,
right.
and I was for about what, like a month. It hurt so bad,
Yeah, I
But
had yeah, I lost a fight to an Americana, and I didn't, and I tapped immediately, and I couldn't use my full shoulder for at least a week.
oh goodness, ouch.
So
At least you
yes,
like injuries. I think that's thing. Injuries, I do not like them, so I try my hardest not to. And
it's
roll smart, and I do have, not think, a great team that when I roll with bigger people, they know how to distribute their weight well. They're not trying to maliciously hurt me at all. Great team that I have.
that's good. If they can just keep ego aside, that's great. I mean, you're competing, but you're also like,
120.
there's some, yeah, exactly. So what? So how many competitive bouts have you had?
Oh, see,
Is
I
it too
do.
many?
That is a broad. I want to say I've done a lot. I want to say over 20. Because I'm thinking like IBJJF tournaments that I had, um,
Right.
lower like BJJ Tour, local tournaments, a
Yeah.
few fights here and there for the past 7 years. So I ran to a lot.
Yeah. You know what? And that was kind of a steep question for me to ask because I know guys that do jujitsu tournaments every weekend.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's. I
Yeah.
wish that young again.
No, exactly.
Years ago, you just eat, sleep, jiu-jitsu, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I wish.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. No, I mean, I've talked to I've talked to some of the best in the sport, and they talk about like certain times you can do jujitsu every weekend and stuff like that, depending on how good you are and how quickly you submit and stuff like that without hurting yourself. But then you got, I remember I met Frank Mir. Do you know who Frank Mir is?
I don't.
Okay, Frank was a really well-known, accomplished like black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu who just happened to be a former two-time UFC heavyweight champion,
Wow.
and
Frank Mir.
he's one of the best. He was one of the best at jiu-jitsu. He's a heavyweight, moved like he was 175 pounds. I mean, he was really just absolutely incredible. And he would talk about like, I told him, does he still compete and stuff like that? He says, yeah, I'll do it maybe once a month because my body is not recovering like it used to be. This is him in his early 40s when I talked to him.
Oh,
And so, he's probably in his mid 40s now. So, but
oh
I
wow.
get it.
Yeah.
So, does your husband compete?
Hi. Yes, he does. Well, he did. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. So right now
Okay.
he very hard for me to be a stay-at-home mom. So he's just constantly working early to very late. So it's very hard for him. So he'll be in the gym about like once or twice a week. And he's the type of person that if he's not training full time, then he doesn't want to, compete.
Right.
Can't have.
Right. What did he compete in?
He's a purple belt like me as well, so he did a lot of IBJJF tournaments.
Oh,
Did
okay. Purple belt. That's good. That's
a,
good. And you've been training for 7 years or 8 years or something like that. And purple
uh-huh,
belt. That's not bad.
give or take, because minus 2 years of being pregnant.
Sure. No, I had a friend of mine, Patrick Dodd. He was on, that show, The Voice.
Yes.
Okay, he was on the show The Voice, and now here we are 12 years later, and somehow he became a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and owns a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school in Asheville, North Carolina now. So, he goes from being a singer, guitar player to being a combat, or martial arts instructor for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So he's very good stuff.
Oh wow.
Who issues your belts?
What was that?
Who's the one that gives you your belts? Like, who's the one that promoted you to purple belt?
So my father. So I bounced around a couple of gyms. So my dad was the first one to give me my blue belt.
Okay.
My blue and purple, and so I'm gonna say my dad. He trains at a local gym in my hometown, and it's a free gym. So they do like MMA, jiu-jitsu,
okay,
stuff like that. So he's a black belt as well.
Okay. And how long has he had his black belt in jiu-jitsu?
He's had it, I want to say, for 2 years now. He had it. Some conflict with an old gym. He should have got it a long time ago.
Right.
But he switched gyms, and now
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you knew Matt Serra is, but Matt Serra, he's pretty. Do what? Do you know who he is?
I know.
Okay. Well, Matt Serra, he's pretty stingy about who he gives his black belts out to. So sometimes they're a little stingy about it.
Yeah, that's good to be stingy about it. You didn't buy your belt, Yeah.
Right. Well, there's just such high caliber guys that fight in the UFC that are under him that should be black belts, but he's a little stingy about giving them away.
Yeah. There. Sorry, my son's into like stomping on cans.
So I like him. I like it. And how old is he?
He's almost 3. Mommy. He's all stop. Sorry, excuse me.
Ladies and gentlemen, footage. The breaking news: this kid will not stop stomping on cans at this point in time. All right.
Wait. Get up. Oh, you have to wait. So this is my jiu-jitsu and mommy thing. What I have to do.
No, hey, look. Hey, if this don't work out, you can always take up the guitar.
Exactly.
No. So I lost my train of thought because that was cute, but no, it's cool. So your husband doesn't compete at all anymore, does he?
No, not right now. He wants to. So, I mean, when you live in California, Mommy, sit down.
One of the things that I'm jealous about the fact. Go ahead. And I was just saying one of the things. Yeah, you got him. Breaking news: being the best mother in the world. So she's being the most awesome mother in the world right now, ladies and gentlemen of my audience out there. Now that being said, so all right, I keep laughing to lose my train of.
Sorry.
No, not at all. So, would you ever consider doing mixed martial arts?
No, I thought about it. I just don't like getting hit in the face.
Who does? What sane person does? I mean,
maybe like not for fun. Maybe I thought about it just to get in there for fun, just maybe once, because my dad fought in the cage, but like locally, at like 50 years old, or no, I think it was like 40 then. And fought a young buck. And I'm like, if my dad was on the card, and my mom was on a jiu-jitsu card too, maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
No, you can keep it. No, I'm good. This is why I do this now. I mean, I've been in broadcasting for most of my adult life anyway. So, and I'm in my early 40s. So I get it. But people are crazy. Like Gray Maynard used to say he loved getting hit, but he was also the former lightweight champion. So I guess you do. I guess you had to be a little crazy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I have no Like my dad's a full time, and after he gets off work, he then goes train jujitsu. And my dad's almost 60.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. No, that's totally fine. He's staying active. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Very active.
As long as he doesn't get any brain damage, your dad will be around for a while.
Yeah. And he knows, like, he's been wanting to step in the cage to do like a local tournament, but he has 3 daughters and 1 son. So his 3 daughters are just like, no. Nice try, Dad. Nice try.
No, I would strap his ass to the chair. I mean, it's just no. I mean, don't do it. Don't do it. Not at your age.
No, yeah. He thinks it's so fun because he would be, of course, he would go against someone that's like, what, 25 years old, and that's how you get like a good venue going to see an old guy versus a young buck and see how it does.
Yeah, he would have to use a lot of threats. He'd be like, "Remember, young buck, there's a reason why I lived this long."
Yeah. He always tells me, he's like, your dad still got it.
Hey, look, as my dad used to tell me, keep on living. Keep on living. You'll find out. So, how supportive is your husband of the actual combat fighting?
For just jiu-jitsu, right?
Right. We're just, I mean, it's a form of combat. So,
yeah. Jiu-jitsu. Oh, he loves me doing jiu-jitsu. I think what's important too is that you have a gym that you trust, and our gym is very family oriented.
okay,
And
good.
everybody in my gym knows as well, because my husband does come and train a few times, and yeah, he loves our gym. We love our coach there, and we have a lot of friends there. So when you trust a gym and that's family oriented like ours, I mean, he's gonna be super okay if I go train while he's at work, And I bring my son as well, so he loves it. He supports me 100%. He's the one that's in my corner, uh,
Yeah,
coaching me. He's
absolutely.
my best coach.
Does Has your gym ever had any special guest instructors come by before?
Special guests, like Alan Sanchez from 10th Planet. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
who else? A few. Jane. I forgot her name. Oh my goodness. And her husband, and they train at Kayatera Academy. And
Okay.
that's it. So my gym has been open for a little over a year now. So
Okay.
he's fairly new.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, like I went to a gym, where I'm at, and I got to train with Hanato Gracie for a day.
Oh wow.
So that was about 15 years ago, I think, maybe even longer than that now.
Oh
But
my
that was quite a treat, and he'd fought the legendary BJ Penn.
goodness.
So very much, and of course it was gi training. I'm assuming that your jujitsu, if you're doing the belts, you're doing gi training, right?
Uh huh. Nogi. Strictly nogi.
Oh, really?
Uh huh.
Okay, it's a different. It's a different world in certain parts of the country. Like,
Oh yeah. Uh huh. Absolutely. It's funny because my husband's best friend is Andre Philly, if you know who that is.
I know him by reputation only.
So that's his best friend. So I've seen him before a few times actually, like parties they have to hang out with them. So you get a little.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen him. Yeah, I believe I've seen him fight on. I can't remember where I saw him fight, but yeah, I know him by reputation. I don't know him personally, but yeah. But he's so that's the one thing I love about the state of California when it comes to the combat sports. There is an abundance of fighters over there from the state of California, and I mean, if you don't believe it, look at the UFC fights. 25% of the Americans are probably from California right now.
Oh yeah. You get killers here in California. Straight.
I mean, you think about it: Chuck Liddell, Dan Henderson. Quite a bit of them came out of the state of California. Chuck was from
Is right.
the what?
Cain Velasquez.
Yep, Cain Velasquez. Yeah, absolutely. I hope he gets out of his current situation.
Daniel Cormier. I know he lives in Gilroy, but coaches for Gilroy High's wrestling team.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know if he was from there.
Yeah, I think Cormier is actually from like New Orleans, Louisiana area or something. He's from like Louisiana area.
Oh, that's so.
Do not quote me on that though.
Uh-huh.
So when do you think you're going to go for your brown belt?
It's in the talks. So it's in the talks. I think because when I was training with my dad as a purple belt, and the gym that I am now, I've been training for, I want to say, a year, a little over a year now. And
Okay.
he's like that coach that's just like, he needs to see you do well. Like, he wants to see you do well,
Yeah.
you to earn it. Like, there's people that come into his gym that are blue belts, and he's just like, you can take that off because you're not a blue belt. He's just like, you're not a blue belt in my gym. He's that kind. He's not. He's that. Give me 1 second.
Of course. Take your time. Yeah. We got a That's a good parent right there. She's doing a good job. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is somebody who's training in combat sports, but is also raising a child.
Sorry.
Don't worry, I was filling in the gaps, explaining what was going on. I was telling her she's being a good parent.
Thank you. But yeah, so it's in the talks right now, for me getting my brown belt. So I think what's going to help is just these super fights, and it's all up to my coach because, like, I have a lot of people that I competed against and that I know, when I go cross train, they're just like, "You're sandbagging." Sandbagging. No, I'm like, it's not up to me. I swear to God, it's not up to me. I'm at a new gym. They're like, you're winning. I'm
Right.
Like, but it's
Right.
not
Where
I'm not sandbagging.
Well, you definitely don't want to hurt. You don't want to hurt somebody or get hurt based upon lack of experience with that particular gym. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but it's in the talks. A lot of my friends are just like, can't believe it. Why are you sandbagging? Well, what's up? You need to be your brown belt.
I have yet to attend a black belt ceremony because they don't really have. They're not very ceremonious with the black belts usually.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the one thing, or even a belt. Tell you the truth, I don't recall I've ever attended a ceremony for any belt for anybody ever. Because, like I was telling you about Frank Mir earlier, the way he got his black belt was that he was fighting at UFC 48, and he broke Tim Sylvia's arm. And then while he's laying on his back on the mat, getting his pads and stuff off, and his instructor throws the black belt at him and says, "Hey, you're a black belt now." While he's laying on the ground. Very unceremonious of it.
No, yeah.
Randy Couture. I'm sure you're familiar with Randy Couture, right?
Right. Sounds so familiar. I'm bad at this. My husband really good at this.
Have you ever seen The Expendables?
Yes.
Okay, he's in The Expendables. He was one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time.
Oh, I guess, man.
Yeah. Oh man, like he got his black belt after he beat James Toney in the ring, and in the ring in front of everybody, his instructor just throws the belt over and says, "Here's your black belt." So not very ceremonious at all.
Yeah.
So, but what I know, you're about to get ready for training, so I'm not going to keep you that much longer here. But let's promote your fight once again in your competition that you're coming up on. Tell me about it, and tell me where guys like me can watch it.
Okay, so you can probably go on Submissions on the Shore, like Instagram, and they probably have a link because I know you can watch it live. So it's Submissions on the Shore, and it's in San Rafael at the Ounces Beer Garden on Saturday. This coming up Saturday.
Okay.
I think doors open around 4 p.m., but everything should be on like their website, like on their Instagram, their little link below on their profile where you can get tickets or even watch it live too.
Okay, because I'll write you on Instagram. We're friends on Instagram now, so I'll catch you on there.
Thank you.
Yes. Anything else you want to say before I take us out?
No, I think that's it. Thank you so much for interviewing me. This is
No, absolutely. You come back. Hey, look, all you got. Hey, you come back anytime. I got you. If you want to promote a fight or just get something off your chest, I'm here. So there you go. You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been such a pleasure talking to this young lady, and I wish her the best on Saturday. And I cannot. I'm not allowed to have a biased opinion, but in this case, I will because I just talked to her for the last 30 minutes. My name is Hank Russell. You've been watching the Hank Russell Invitation, and y'all have a pleasant evening.